Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another Feeding Frenzy. We're excited about this one.
Yes.
It's A Course in Weight Loss by Marianne Williamson. A lot of you know who she is, and those who don't, being one of them, I'm excited to see what she has to say on this subject. This is 21 Spiritual Lessons for Surrendering Your Weight Forever.
Yeehaw!
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are
too.
you?
Yeah.
Definitely. So I'm excited about this one. We are already seeing a personal trainer, and he has helped us tremendously. But we're still not there yet. And I know, I don't know about you, I'm not going to speak for you, but I know that if I'm going to make a permanent change in my life, I've got to address it in all three areas of my life, which is spiritually, mentally, and then physically.
Right.
So I feel like I have looked at the process of weight loss in two different areas. That was mentally and physically. But I've never addressed the spiritual reasons.
Right.
And
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to the personal trainer for weight loss necessarily. I was hoping that would be one of the benefits. But I'm going to get in shape, and as I get older, the muscle tone goes. And so I wanted to just stay healthy, but not necessarily lose the weight. When I turned 40, it became much harder for me to lose weight with exercise. And I hear that's pretty normal. So I didn't expect to lose weight by going. Now, I expected younger folks, like the girls, to lose some weight. But I didn't expect
yeah, that's another good point. We also we've made this a family project. This isn't just she and I as friends. We've invited our girls to go with us, and they are truly doing wonderful with it and gaining a lot with it. So it's not just you can open this to anybody you want to invite to.
Right.
We do suggest that you get the book. We are not going to cover this page by page.
No.
It would take forever, and I just don't think that that's what we're being led to do.
Right.
We are, however, going to allow Spirit to run this one. By that I mean, if we feel like a certain paragraph needs some extra time, then we're just going to spend that time that we need to. We're going to try and keep the videos to like what we've gotten used to, which is about 15 minutes. Just like in the other Feeding Frenzies, we invite you to put your comments underneath the video, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Like you said, we don't just sit and talk about this, we're actually doing it at the same time.
Right.
And it's going to be just like the other Feeding Frenzies. We're inviting you here just to sit down and have the conversation with us.
Right. So let's jump in.
Let's do that.
I love information.
You
and
love
I used to
reading.
think that the more information I could just stuff in my head, then that would just the awareness would be enough to fix all my problems. And I'm finding out that is not true. The awareness helped.
Oh,
And I made a lot of progress on just awareness alone, but as I learned in the 40-day prosperity plan, it's more than just the awareness, it's the understanding and the knowing, and then I feel like there's another step, putting it into the subconscious.
Yes, definitely.
And
So
also,
we're finding out that not only do we have to have the awareness, we have to have the understanding and knowing. And in order to move from the understanding into the knowing, there also comes a practice there.
Right.
Because you can't get it into your system until you're working with it.
Right. I used to hate repeating books, but now I'm finding a great deal of help by repeating things, whether it's a book or a conference or whatever. But getting the information more than once seems to help me. But I agreed with this, that it takes more than just information to make a lasting change.
Yes.
I've lost and gained I don't know how much weight in my lifetime.
The original yo-yo sitting next to you.
And it was all because whatever I was doing at the time was not a lasting thing.
Well, and you and I both know it's not from a lack of dieting that we're here. You and I both have done just about everything that's out there,
Right.
I myself have literally been dieting since I was 11 years old. Was one of the youngest kids to ever enter the Nutrisystem system. And that one was not of my... I didn't want to do it. I was made to do it. But I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. And, you come to a point when you think, okay, I just want to understand why this is.
Right.
And then I know that once I understand why it is, then I can address the problem.
I want my weight to be just like my money. I just don't want to think about it. I want it to be at a comfortable level, and I don't want to worry about it or be ashamed of it or,
Yes.
ever think about it. Really, I want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it, and not worry about the weight. And that's why I want a lifestyle change, not
Yes.
just another diet. I've
Exactly.
done that.
Exactly.
But there are underlying issues that are the reason for my weight gain
Sure.
and my overeating.
Yeah. Mine
Um,
too.
I know that it's more than just because it's good, There's a whole lot more
Oh,
underneath.
yeah.
And it's more than just I'm eating this and I'm counting calories and, than some diet. Then if I'm eating more than I'm exercising off, but it's more than that.
Mhm.
Those are just symptoms and the effect of the causes that are
I think
underneath.
that we forget that the physical body is literally a mirror of what's going on the inside.
Mhm.
And we're the last place for change to show up is in the physical.
Mhm.
We've got to make the change on the inside before I'm going to see it on the outside.
Right. As we're learning in the Master Key System, that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. Excuse me.
Right.
And the things that are going on inside of me cause the things that are going on the outside. So the inner world is the cause and the outer is the effect. And I
Right.
believe he said exactly that in this book.
Right.
That the things going on inside of us are the cause of the
So
weight
I
gain.
took from just the very couple of pages that we got in there. I've been doing this wrong the whole time. I've been watching my numbers. And I get on the scale and I think, why is this not coming off? And then I think, okay, well then I need to exercise more. Or I need to eat less. Or I need to, do something to change the physical. But not addressing the inside at all.
Right.
So even if I made the change and saw a change on the outside, the physical, it didn't last.
Right.
It didn't stay. So that's what kept me in the yo-yo.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So I'm tired of
I
doing the
agree.
yo-yo. I don't want to do the
Me
yo-yo
too.
anymore.
Me too. Talk to me about numbing emotional pain.
Well, I'm definitely an emotional eater.
Are you?
Definitely. Oh yeah. The first time I get upset, the first thing I want to reach for is chocolate or
Used to be
something.
Fritos and dip.
It used to be
Got
Fritos
better.
and dip. It did.
And
I mean,
Dr. Pepper, like.
well, Dr. Pepper hadn't gone away, but so it's easy to find. That's a real good easy fix. To switch that bad feeling for something that tastes good.
As I was taught to clean my plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I have trouble leaving anything on my plate still. I don't care how big the plate is or how full it is. I have trouble.
Leaving something on the plate.
And I just like the taste of food.
Well, I do too.
And when
Oh
I
my
take,
gosh. Yeah.
excuse me, when I find something that tastes good, I hate to quit. It just tastes good.
It doesn't matter if your stomach's saying stop, I can't stand it
I
anymore.
just like food.
Yeah. Do you take refuge in food?
I find myself giving myself a reward with food. So like, oh, I've had a hard day, I'll just eat some chocolate, or I've had a great day, I'll just eat some chocolate, I find myself rewarding myself.
Mine isn't a reward system. Mine is, like I said, I feel bad, so I'm going to crawl into a chocolate cake.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I guess I
pint of ice cream sounds good.
Right. So if we can
But
find the joy, pleasure, freedom, and love in this, then we can sustain that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking forward to, is sustained weight loss, and not the yoga.
Well, I don't know about you, but when we first started, we started working with a personal trainer back in the 1st of November. And at first, I really had to drag myself there. And I still have days where I really have to drag myself there. But I am finding more of an enjoyment once I'm there.
Yeah.
So I can see, just in getting into the habit of doing that, how it is easier for me to keep up once I have found the joy in it.
Right. Right. And I don't know about you, but I feel better now that we're
Oh my
doing
gosh,
this on
yeah.
a regular basis.
Yeah.
And feeling better motivates me to want to go. This diets don't work. Diets are about what you can't have and what you must do.
That's why they fail for me every time.
You don't feel
Every
in control.
time. Because when I go on to another diet, it's always about the lack. It puts me into a lack consciousness. I can't have this, and I can't have that, and I have to avoid this, and it's everything I have to get up or give up. And it's not about looking at what I'm gaining. It's
Right.
never about looking at what I'm gaining. It's always about what I'm losing. And so even when I start and set out with a gung ho, I'm going to do this. I'm destined to fail because I'm listing what I'm giving up. You know,
Right.
I'm focusing on the lack
Right.
rather than what I'm gaining.
Fear is not a sustainable motivator.
Well, and fear isn't a big motivator for me. It is in the in the get go, in the starting gate. A fear is an absolute motivator. It'll get me to the starting line, but it definitely won't get me to the finish
Right.
line.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not unless the fear is re-established or reinforced
Right.
during the
Who
course
wants to
of
live
it.
in fear?
And I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to live in fear.
Right.
So that's why then I don't want to live on another diet.
Right. You know why diets don't work?
Why?
Because the first 3 letters spell die. And nobody wants to die. See, remember, don't eat the apple didn't work, and that was God talking. So
I love
God
that.
can't
I
do
love
it.
that. I love that.
And willpower is just another way of saying you're forcing yourself to do something, and pressuring yourself to do something is not sustainable.
Have you ever tried to sustain something or do something, keep up with something that you're forcing yourself to do?
It doesn't.
I mean, how many days, oh my gosh, did I force myself to get up and go to the job I hated? It
It's
was
not
horrible.
sustainable.
It's not.
Again, overeating often becomes a way of protecting us from further abuse.
That's exactly.
But it also isolates us from the healing intimacy that we most want. And I totally agree. I think that I was shocked to be in a room full of women not long ago, and the leader asked how many have been sexually abused, and
Almost everybody in the room.
almost everybody in the room raised their hand. And I'm afraid that that's the way our society has become. It's a society of mostly abused people. And I think that's the reason we have a lot of obese people walking around. They put up this armor in the form of fat.
I myself did the same thing as a child. It became my mechanism of safety. What I was fighting at the time was if I had the weight on, then some of the abuse stopped. And as soon as I took it off, it began again. So I began this war with weight and not knowing which one is safer. If I don't have it on, then this bad thing happens. If I do have it on, then this bad thing happens. So it began a war that I've been fighting my entire life. And I have addressed those issues, so I'm ready to let go of it now.
As Oprah Winfrey once said, listen to the whisper before it becomes a scream.
That's good advice right there.
Yeah.
It is. But we're not taught to listen to our inner guidance.
No, not usually.
We almost have to grow up and find it again for ourselves. So I think one of the greatest things that I can teach my kids is how to listen to their own inner guidance.
Right.
And as their parent, I got to get out of the way and let them follow it.
Right. So, for today, I would suggest, before tomorrow's video, that they read through the foreword and they read through the introduction.
Definitely.
You believe this is going to work?
Oh, I absolutely do. Now, this is, for the first time, and the reason why I'm so excited about it is because I know I'm going after the root cause. And once I go after the root cause, then, I know the body is the last thing to change. The physical form is the last thing to change when you make a spiritual shift. So I know this is going to be lasting or more lasting than anything else I've ever done, simply because I'm going after the root cause and not just the physical symptom. That when we're treating, we go and seek advice from doctors about physical illness. We can keep treating the symptoms, or we can kill the root cause and be done with it. And I think this is the same thing. So I'm really confident I'm going to be successful.
So do you
this
truly
time.
believe that when we get done with this study, you will have surrendered your weight forever? It's a long time.
Forever.
Forever. Are you making a deal on that?
I'm
You willing to shake?
Yeah, I am. What about you?
It's good stuff.
Yeah?
I'm ready to let it go.
Me too.
50-something years
It
old.
served
I'm ready
me
to let
well. It really served me well. It saved my life on several occasions. It served me well, but I'm ready to let it go.
And I believe you can.
I believe you can. That's good stuff.
Shreeds.
Oh, by the way, if you have not, I'm gonna put a plug in here for
All
a
right.
friend. If you have not checked out the music of Aaron Burdett,
Check it
please
out.
do so.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.